and engage in talks. Laura Westbrook, Hong Kong.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. It is a Wednesday, the 19th day of February for 2025. Ready to start your day with all of your news, weather, and sports here this morning. Going to be talking about the Nebraska men's basketball team. They're back on the floor tonight as they take on the Nittany Lions of Penn State. We'll tell you about that coming up. Got some comments as well from Husker head coach Fred Hoiberg just ahead. The Nebraska women's basketball team, they are at home tonight to take on Oregon. Nebraska's softball pitcher Jordy Ball and Nebraska's softball player Ava Kuzik not only garnered Big Ten honors earlier this week for their performances last week in the Troy Cox Classic in New Mexico. They also gained national honors yesterday. We'll tell you about that in just a few minutes. Nebraska has signed their running backs coach E.J. Barthel to a new 2-year contract extension. Hastings College basketball teams on the road tonight playing in Fremont against Midland. And Bose of Hastings College has received an honor from the Great Plains Athletic Conference. The Girls State High School Wrestling Tournament is going on in Omaha. Plus, we've got sub-district basketball to tell you about today. So, again, the plate is full for a Wednesday as we welcome in Tyson from the Western Studios here this morning. Good morning.
Yeah, and a good morning to you, Mike. Plate is full, and the lobbies we're filling up, too. One of the fun things that I get to do on the back end is start up the streaming camera and the platform and everything that goes on, and I can actually see who's sitting in the lobby. Before we even go live, we had a few people that were waiting on Facebook. We had a couple that were chilling out on the YouTube page, and we had a couple that were chilling out on Twitch, and you can find us just about anywhere, and even by looking at the top screen here, where we've got Google Play, App Store. You can download the app. You can get us on your smart speaker. And as mentioned, YouTube, Roku, Facebook, Twitch. We're just about everywhere here on the morning show here on Huddle Up. So yeah, full plate to get to, and I'll let you kind of direct traffic from here. We got a lot of sports to get to, so let's dive in.
Chilling out is the right word again today. People just chilling out in the lobby. It is 6 below zero this morning as you head out the door. The wind's blowing out of the north at about 11. Wind chill is at minus 18. That's going to feel like a heat wave compared to when you and I talk tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be brutal. They're still talking for lows, actual temp, somewhere around 20 to 25 below zero tomorrow. Yeah, it's not going to be good. Nobody's car is going to start in that weather. So just get ready for it tomorrow. You're probably not going to work on time. 25 below, that's cold. That's, I went to school a long time ago. I went to broadcasting school in Minneapolis, and I went during the winter months. It was like a 9 to 12 month broadcasting course I went to, but I went during the winter, and every morning was like this. Every single morning it was like 20 below zero. I hated it. Couldn't stand the winters in Minnesota, and now this just has a flashback. Tomorrow, when I looked at the forecast, I said, hell, that's what I put up with years ago.
Back to Brown?
Yeah, Minnesota. It was damn cold in Minneapolis. I don't know how those guys do it up there.
At some point, you just get acclimated to it, I guess.
When I went to Jamestown, I asked that. I went there, and I said, how do you guys handle this up here? You don't even have a spring. Their spring, they said, starts in like the end of May, first part of June maybe. They said, we got snow on the ground until then. I said, how in the hell do you handle that? They couldn't pay me enough to work in the northern part of the United States. They couldn't pay me enough. I don't think there's any
20 below.
What salary would you request if somebody called you like from northern Minnesota and said, hey, I got a job up here. Are you interested? How much are you going to pay me? No, I couldn't. Yeah,
$250.
250,000.
We start at $250 and we go from there.
Yeah, obviously you don't want the job.
Not terribly. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't work up there. Anyway, just get ready for tomorrow as you head out the door this morning. Like we said, 6 degrees below zero, which is 4 degrees warmer than it was yesterday when you and I talked.
Yeah.
It was at 10 below yesterday. The wind chill is at minus 18. So just as you get out the door this morning.
Yeah, I don't have to put a blanket on for today's show. That's a vast improvement.
So that 4 degrees, you don't have to have a little blankie in your studio today?
Yeah, and then another 4 degrees, we might be in shorts. Like, watch out. So I did this stupid, idiotic thing, and I got out yesterday for a little bit. This was like before the plows had even kind of gone through.
Yeah.
I was a morning trekker. We had it was a really crappy time for President's Day to fall yesterday, because the bank was closed yesterday, and by the way, that kind of came through on the payday weekend, and so I was looking to deposit some checks into the bank, so I had to get out to the credit union, and yesterday they were open. Thankfully, they did choose to be open after the President's Day closure, because I had some bills to pay, and so we trek on over to the credit union, and then I'm like, okay, well, I might as well pick up some groceries while I'm out, so I went down to the supermarket. Just because it snows on the ground and it's cold, it doesn't give you an excuse to be a total idiot. The people were parking literally just however they wanted to in the parking lot. It was complete anarchy.
Because nobody could see where the lines were
Because
at?
they're like, oh, well, we can't see the lines, so we might as well just park vertically across the entire damn thing. like that doesn't make any sense. You know how this parking lot operates. You don't throw your Ford F-250 diesel just smack dab in the middle of the damn thing. Oh,
So
I was having a
parking.
day.
They were parking the opposite way.
And then, yes, literally parking the wrong way, like facing the building. And
Unbelievable.
it was so stupid. And then you had those idiots. The wind's blowing the snow across the street. Visibility was pretty limited, even in town. And of course, you had Dumbass 1 and Dumbass 2 that didn't have their freaking headlights on.
No, nobody drives around with their headlights.
Nobody drives around with their headlights because, oh, I can see. Well, I can't see you because your car's white and it's in a snowstorm. You freaking idiot. Oh, I was hot yesterday. I got in and I said, I need to have another cup of coffee.
A lot of those newer cars have automatic lights, so you don't really turn them on and off. But sometimes in situations like that, you've got to manually turn your lights on.
Yeah.
Because the automatic lights won't turn them on, so you
The
got to
AI
be.
ain't as smart as we think it is.
Yeah, you got to be a little smarter than your vehicle and actually reach down and turn your lights on. So people, then you got to remember to shut them off, or you'll have a dead battery. And that's why people don't do it. I think they just get in the
We've
habit.
been so accustomed to manually or automatically doing
Oh, yeah.
their lights.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I never put them on auto anyway. I've always taken manual control.
A
Screw
lot of
you,
people
computer.
Yeah, a lot of people just turn them on automatic, and if the computer says I need to have my lights on, they'll turn them on. If not, screw you. Schools today, a lot of the schools were shut down yesterday because of the weather. They're trying to get back into the norm
Some 10 a.m.
today.
starts.
Yeah, a lot of 2-hour late starts and 10 o'clock starts. Adams Central is one of those schools, a 2-hour late start today. Aurora is going to be closed. Blue Hill is going to be closed again today. Centura is closed. Christ Lutheran Elementary School in Juniata is closed today. Donovan Trumbull is closed. The staff needs to report, though, because there's parent-teacher conferences today at 2 this afternoon. Franklin Public Schools are closed down today. Harvard is going to be closed. Heartland Lutheran in Grand Island starting at 10. Kennesaw is closed. Minden will be starting at 10 this morning. Shelton starting at 10. Silver Lake is closed. Wilcox Hildreth is closed today. Wood River will get a 2-hour late start. So those are some of the schools in our area as we try to get the kids back to school. Tomorrow, probably a very similar situation As those wind chills are going to be 30 to 40 below zero tomorrow. So I anticipate a lot of closures again tomorrow. Having a tough time getting the kids to school this week, but that's all right.
Has it not been the longest week ever?
Yeah, and it's only Wednesday.
It's only Wednesday. I woke up, I thought today was Thursday. I mean, I was hell-bent thinking, okay, didn't get a call yesterday from school. Probably going to have to go to class today. That's okay. Like, no big deal. I can bear the cold. I can go out. And then I'm like, oh, hell, it's only Wednesday. Jesus.
It's only Wednesday. You don't have class on Wednesday, do you?
No class on Wednesday. So now we have another day where we're just kind of like,
hang out,
mosey around. And like, you can only clean the kitchen so many times before you've cleaned it. Like, it's done. Go sit down on the couch, but then you'd feel unproductive, and it's awful. Today's at least a good sport. Yesterday was the worst, crappiest day for a sports day, or a snow day, sports day, because there was no sports on. Zero. Zip. Nada.
Really?
Zippo. It's like sports were just hiatusing from the entire United States. There was nothing. But today's a little better on that front. So at least if you're snowed in today, you're in good hands because your day can start at 11:45 in the morning. We've got Champions League soccer, Borussia Dortmund versus Sporting CP. 2 o'clock, Real Madrid, Man City. 5:30, we got Nebraska, Penn State. And then the nightcap, an 8 p.m. Alabama, Missouri top 25 clash. So a full day of sports today, thank God. Yesterday was rough. It was rough.
You see what happened to Kansas last night? I know we got a lot of Kansas Jayhawk fans that listen to this show. You see what happened to Kansas last night?
I did not.
They got smoked by BYU.
Oof.
91-57.
Is there issues going on there?
The 34-point loss for the Jayhawks tied for the worst loss under Jayhawks head coach Bill Self, and was the third worst defeat in the program's history. They lose last night to BYU 91-57. In 2021, Self's team also lost by 34, that time to USC in the NCAA tournament. And this one could be easily explained. Kansas committed 15 turnovers in the ball game, and they allowed their opponents to shoot 52% from the floor. En route to that 91-57 loss. So Kansas slips to 17-9 in the season, 8-7 in the conference. So woe is me. I know we've got a lot of
they're going to fall out of the
fans.
top 25.
Oh, I think they already are.
They're sitting at 23 right now. They'll fall out of the top 25.
Yeah, and that's right before the conference tournament starts. So I don't know what's going on at Kansas, but they're playing like crap right now.
Wow.
Earlier in the year, you and I kind of talked about them making
Final
a run
Four.
to the NCAA. Yeah, boy, we look great.
Experts on nothing, including the March Madness
Yeah,
predictions. Yeah.
Kansas 17-9 in the season, 8-7 now in the conference. And good old Andy Dalton is in the news today.
How?
The veteran quarterback. He has signed a 2-year extension to stay with Carolina. He's kind of mentoring Bryce Young there at Carolina. So they signed Andy Dalton to stay on for 2 more years. $8 million, $6 million guaranteed, a max value, $10 million for his 2-year contract. So Andy Dalton is still employed. He's going to still hang around and tutor Bryce Young there at Carolina. Not bad tutoring job either. Max value of $10 million for 2 years.
No kidding. Like, that's the healthiest job in the NFL right now. Hey, you're not going to play. You're going to put on a ball cap and a headset. You're going to talk to Bryce Young when he comes off the field. You're going to mentor this kid into being a pretty good NFL quarterback. And, oh, by the way, we're going to pay you $10 million to do it.
Yeah, the NFL quarterback position is probably the best position in all of football.
Well, yeah, you don't have to worry about getting hit. If you get hit hard, you get free 15 yards.
It's like Carson Wentz at Kansas City. Backs up Patrick Mahomes, and he only got in a handful of snaps all year in mop-up duty, basically to maybe hand off or take a knee when the Chiefs had games well in hand, which are
$2 million.
far and in between. The Chiefs had games well in hand that Carson Wentz got in and actually took a knee, but he got in for a couple of snaps, and he's getting paid oodles and boodles of cash. So, yeah, backup quarterback is the best position ever. People are
I
already
think so.
chiming in. People are already
You got
chiming in.
Kansas comments, yeah.
Kansas comments are rolling in today. I don't know what's going on at Kansas. You know, the people that follow Kansas Jayhawk basketball might know something more than we do. I don't follow Kansas enough. I don't know what's going on. They're not playing very well right now.
According to Lou Dodd, not playing as a team. No I in team.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no my favorite line.
There's no I in team.
My favorite line was getting told that there's no I in team. I think this was basketball. I think this was Roz era, and I'm coming off the floor, and they look at me, and Roz is like, "Hey, there's no I in team," and I'm like, "Yeah, there's no we either." Sat my ass on the bench for the rest of the game.
Yeah, no wonder you didn't get to play a whole lot.
I was kind of a smart ass in school. I was.
No wonder you didn't ever get to play. Can't talk to a coach like that.
I was not athletic enough to play anyway, so
Put your
Might as
butt
well-
on the put
might
your
as well
butt
run
on the
my
bench.
mouth.
Yeah, put your butt on the bench.
might as well run the mouth.
Let's see. We signed our running backs coach, E.J. Barthol, to a new 2-year contract extension. That was after, evidently, he had been talking to Texas and Penn State about maybe leaving Nebraska and joining one of those programs. So we give him a pay raise from $293,550 to $450,000. Now E.J. is all happy. He's going to stay at Nebraska at least through the 2026-2027 season. So. Yeah, just some rumors that you're talking to some opponents, Texas and Penn State. Hey, you want a new contract? We'll work you out one right here. Let's give you a massive raise to $450,000. Everybody's all happy now, and EJ is staying on the staff for Matt Rule at Nebraska.
It's the world of college football right now, though, man. I mean, that's lockstep, and it was why we're not having a spring game, essentially, because you've got so many other programs and so many other coaches that are going out and basically trying to cherry pick or poach your guys, whether it's players or whether it's on the coaching staff. And you hear any of this for Matt Rule. I mean, he spends more time protecting his own locker room just to keep his own roster than he does actively looking for players to add to it. We spend more time trying to protect what we've got, the nucleus that we have, than we do trying to make it even better. That's the world of college football right now.
Thanks to the NIL and the transfer portal.
Thanks to portal.
Yep.
And it is what it is. And until we kind of get some rules and regs on the Wild Wild West, but for a while, this is going to be Wild Wild West era. And I don't have all the answers to fix it. I know I know NIL's needed. I know that the transfer portal should be a thing. Players should be allowed to go where they want to go. I'm assuming with NIL comes at some point some contracts with some guarantee that you will stay at a certain location for a given amount of time. But they're kids and they should be allowed to go where they want to and feel the most successful at. So I get all these things are needed. We just got to kind of figure out and rein in maybe the power and the scope of all these things. But yeah, right now you're spending more time protecting and keeping your own locker room happy than you are adding to it. And that's an issue. I
see the assistant coach's salary bank right now is sitting at $7.9 million.
Whew.
So we're paying our assistants, and we got a lot of them. $7.9 million is what we're paying right now. So,
we got some comments rolling in for KU basketball as well as the team aspect. Chief Endorf, on my side. There's no I in team, but there's a me. We don't know either. Transfers are not meshing well. Hit rock chalk bottom. This is from Ryan Martin, by the way. Owned the state of North Carolina in the early season. And now the state of Utah owns us with BYU and Utah picking up victories.
Not only victories, they smashed them last night. Killed them, 34 points.
Yeah, Martin says we now know how Kansas State basketball fans feel on a yearly basis.
God.
It's rough.
Yeah, well, they can turn the season around. Bill Self, he'll get it figured out.
Yeah, wouldn't you imagine, we're sitting here on February 19th
Bashing
and
Kansas.
trying to figure out, what's wrong with Kansas basketball? They're going to fall out of the top 25. Oh, no, bad time to do it. And then once they hit March, Bill Self turns it on again, and they'll roll to the Elite Eight, Final Four.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll get it figured out.
Every little thing's going to be all right.
You're listening to Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Lots to talk about here today. Sub-district basketball. Boy, they have juggled everything this week, and they'll try to get games in. Everything's got to be completed evidently by Friday, so they're juggling. They're juggling tournaments. That's because the boys' tournament start next week. So
that's right.
They're trying to get things situated so they're going to be playing a lot of Wednesday games. Normally they don't play on Wednesday in high school sports, but we're going to sneak in some games tonight just to try to get back on schedule. So we'll tell you about that coming up. Waking Up with Mike and Tyson at 7:20 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Local news this hour brought to you by the Hastings Federal Credit Union, where they've been lighting the way to financial success since 1946. Hastings Federal Credit Union, proud to be your trusted long-term financial partner. Committed to providing the highest level of quality services, the Hastings Federal Credit Union provides banking services to all those living or working in Adams, Clay, Webster, Nuckolls, Thayer, and Fillmore counties. And with affordable loan rates, mobile banking, and a friendly staff that treats you like family, why would you go anywhere else? Hastings Federal Credit Union, 707 North Marion Road, or online hastingsfcu.org. Hastings Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender. Well, when you're snowed in, not a whole lot of headlines unless you're making news at the state capitol. As Senator Lauren Lippincott found out, he was under fire yesterday for his weekly column, which was critical of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Supporters of DEI programs for short seek to promote the inclusion and opportunities for underrepresented racial, gender, and other groups. Critics like Senator Lauren Lippincott and President Donald Trump say DEI programs undermine a system that should be based only on merit. In his column, Lippincott, a former Delta Airlines pilot, criticized the behavior of an air traffic controller he dealt with years ago, who he said was a DEI hire, and also was critical of President Joe Biden's appointment of Keith Washington to head the Federal Aviation Administration. Lippincott said Washington had no aviation experience but was given the post due to the color of his skin. The Nebraska Legislature Agricultural Committee heard a proposal yesterday afternoon to ban the sale of lab-grown meat. The proposal by Senator Barry DeKay, a rancher from Niobrara, was introduced at the request of Governor Jim Pillen. The bill would ban the manufacturing, sale, and distribution of the protein products. Two companies have been cleared by the United States Department of Agriculture to sell the meat, but those products have yet to hit the shelves in Nebraska. DeKay said he introduced the bill in part because he has concerns about the long-term health effects of lab-grown meat. No action was taken on the bill. It is coming up on 7:23. Let's fling things over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's happening in sports?
Well, the Nebraska men's basketball team will play at Penn State tonight. The Huskers are 17-9 in the season, 7-8 in the conference after Sunday's 68-64 win at Northwestern. The Nittany Lions are 13-13. They are 3-12 in the conference. Tip-off tonight will be at 5:30 on BTN. The Nebraska women's basketball team will play host to Oregon tonight. The Huskers will be looking to get back on the winning track after suffering a 77-68 loss to Illinois on Sunday. Tip-off will be at 7. Nebraska softball pitcher Jordy Ball has been named the NFCA Co-Player of the Week after her performance on both sides of the ball at the Troy Cox Classic over the weekend. Ball had 9 extra base hits and also picked up 2 wins in the circle, including a no-hitter against Northern Colorado. Ava Kuzik has been named the Softball America Star of the Week. She tied the school and Big Ten record for home runs in a game with 3 against Minnesota on Sunday. She went 9 for 14 with 6 home runs in 5 games to help the Huskers notch 5 run rule victories in New Mexico. Nebraska has signed running backs coach E.J. Barthel to a 2-year contract extension, keeping him with the program through at least the 2026-2027 season. Barthol, who joined Matt Rule's staff in November of 2022, will see his annual salary increase from $293,550 to $450,000. His extension comes after both Texas and Penn State talked to him regarding openings on their respective staffs. Hastings College basketball teams will play at Midland tonight. The Bronco women have won 7 games in a row. They are 20-6 on the season, 15-5 in the conference, and beat the Warriors 79-52 earlier this season. The Bronco men have lost 5 games in a row. They are 3-22, 2-16 in the conference. They lost to Midland 81-76 in their first meeting. Women's game tonight is at 6 with the men to follow at 7:45. We'll have the action on Extreme Sports beginning with a pregame show at 5:45 this afternoon. And Bowes of Hastings College has been named the Women's Basketball Defensive Player of the Week in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. She averaged 3 steals to go along with 10 points and 4.6 rebounds in a pair of Bronco victories last week. Adams Central currently in 12th place after the first day of the Girls State Wrestling Tournament in Omaha. The Patriots have 25 points. Omaha Westside is the leader in Class A with 55.5 points. Grand Island is currently tied for 8th. Kearney is 17th. Utan leads in Class B. Superior is 19th, and Wood River is 20th. Girls Subdistrict basketball from last night at Cross County. Cross County beat Wood River 66-33, and Sandy Creek got by Sutton 50-43. At Elm Creek last night, Elm Creek blew out Axtell 67-19, and Alma defeated Kennesaw 42-24. At Shelton last night, Shelton beat Hampton 64-14, and Nebraska Lutheran defeated Heartland Lutheran 37-27. At Wilcox-Hildreth beat Loomis 51-16, and Amherst defeated Overton 47-39. Tonight, Adams Central will play Gothenburg in the semifinals of the C1-9 tournament out in Gothenburg. Tip-off will be at 4:30 this afternoon. In the other game, Kearney Catholic will take on Central City. At the C2-8 sub-district tournament, Maywood Hayes Center will play Centura in Maywood beginning at 5. And Hastings St. Cecilia will battle Arcadia Loop City at the Chapman Gym beginning at 5:30 this afternoon. That's a check in your sports headlines. 7:27 now on Extreme Sports.
Here's a look at your weather forecast, powered by Weatherology.com. A winter weather advisory continues until 3 p.m. this afternoon. Highs level off around 11 this afternoon under overcast skies with a chance of snow. North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight, 8 below. Clear skies and quiet again tomorrow. Highs around 24. Upper 30s Friday, much cooler Saturday with highs in the upper teens and snow. A dusting of snow today with another dusting Friday night. And that's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Frobley. Currently, it's 11 degrees.
It's not 11 degrees on my side of the building. 6 below in Hastings.
Thermometer probably froze.
Yeah, Paul, he always has problems. I thought we bought him a new thermometer.
At least it's not 69 degrees like it was earlier this year summer. For that week stretch.
It's 6 below in Hastings. Wind chill is at minus 18 with north winds at 11 miles per hour. On Extreme Sports at 7:28.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Extreme Sports has been bringing you the exclusive home of Hastings College Athletics, and we're just getting started. Thanks to our incredible sponsors and your support, Extreme Sports 2 has been a huge success. And now we're excited to announce the launch of Extreme Sports 3. With Extreme Sports 3, you'll get even more local sports coverage. Plus, 24/7 access to Sports by Line, where you'll hear the best in national sports talk. Whether it's Hastings College, high school action, or the latest from around the sports world, we've got it covered across all 3 streams. And don't forget, when we're not broadcasting games, join us weekday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for Huddle Up with Mike Will and Tyson Havronik. It's the perfect way to start your day with sports, news, weather, and great local interviews. So tune in, check out all 3 streams, and stay with us for even more sports coverage coming soon. Thank you to our sponsors for making it all possible, and to you, our listeners, for keeping Extreme Sports strong.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson Havronik. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Wednesday. Again, the 19th of the month. 6 below zero. Wind chill is at minus 18 as you head out the door here this morning. We talked about Nebraska basketball. They've been on the road. They played in Chicago against Northwestern.
Big comeback.
Yeah, really, I guess they weren't not in Chicago, but they were in Evanston. And they beat Northwestern on Sunday. Big comeback, came from 20 points down in the second half to nip the Cats. Well, then they stayed at Northwestern practice, and then they flew into Penn State yesterday. They've got a game tonight against the Nittany Lions. They held a news conference yesterday via Zoom. And the first question out of the gate, they asked him about Fred Hoiberg. They asked Fred Hoiberg about how his hand was feeling.
Oh.
Yeah, Fred, he showed up in the second half of the game on Sunday with his hand in a bandage. Evidently, he got into a run-in with a whiteboard or a chalkboard during halftime when the Huskers were trailing by 20 points. And he's on blood thinners because of his heart condition. So he couldn't get the cut to stop bleeding.
Oh, jeez.
So they had to wrap up his hand for the second half, and that was a topic of discussion Sunday, and that was the first question out of the gate.
Bleed for this team.
Yeah, the first question out of the gate yesterday was, how's your hand feeling?
So how was it?
It was okay.
Okay, good.
He probably won't be in a bandage tonight, but yeah, he got into a run-in with a whiteboard or a clipboard during halftime.
Wow.
And evidently cut his hand on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't get it to stop bleeding, so they just wrapped it up for the second half. Everybody knew it, too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was not just a small Band-Aid. They wrapped it up like his arm was going to fall off or something. Anyway, he says it's fine. Anyway,
That's good.
Centering on the game tonight, it's going to be a tough one as the Huskers play Penn State. Nebraska trying to maneuver their way into the Big Ten Conference tournament. Penn State, they're toward the bottom of the rankings. They're just trying to sneak in to the Big Ten tournament, but the coach says Penn State will be tough.
About as poorly as you can play. And Northwestern, give them credit. They came out of the gate ready to play, and it just goes to show you what happens when you're not ready out there from the beginning. And in this league, you can get embarrassed. And that's exactly what happened in those first 25 minutes before finally, we got it going. We got a little momentum. And, as I told the guys after the game, it just goes to show you what we're capable of when we play the right way, when we play with an edge. I give Braxton Mia a lot of credit. I thought Braxton played his best game as a Husker. I thought Connor went in there. He got 3 consecutive defensive rebounds for us. But our inability, really to do anything in that first half, and give Northwestern credit. Their physicality absolutely overwhelmed us. They punked us in the first part of that game. I didn't think Juwan was very good in the first couple minutes, second half. Got him out, talked to him, got his spirit back up, and he was phenomenal those last 15 minutes. But we can't just be a team that plays well when things are going the right way. We got to be more consistent. We got to play 40 minutes. A lot of things we can learn from this, and hopefully be a more consistent basketball team. But we got to bottle up those last 15 minutes and be consistent with that for 40. If we want to continue on and have a chance to play in the postseason.
Obviously, that was Fred talking about the Northwestern game on Sunday. We'll get to his comments about Penn State coming up. I've got issues.
You've got some issues?
I got a couple of computer issues we'll get cleared up here. But anyway, we'll get to Fred talking about Penn State coming up.
Yeah, they got, Penn State lost 11 of their last 12. They've got the ace up the sleeve with Baldwin Jr. I think he's 14 points per game. He's going to be a talent. And then they got one of those, bigs, one of those, I think foreign exchange bigs, Yannick Conan Nidenhauser, who is big on the boards, quite literally and figuratively, averaging 10 points per game, 11 rebounds and 3 blocks. So they've got a big that we've got to contend with. And here's the thing about Penn State, and I've noticed this about their basketball team. They're one that, yes, you look at Penn State from a basketball perspective, and you're like, we have to pick up this win. But they're sneaky, and they're capable of pulling off a few upsets here and there. Again, the longevity of them as a March powerhouse is pretty moot, but at the same point, they can pull off an upset. And so you can't go in there and just say, well, they've lost 11 of their last 12. They've mentally checked out. This should be an easy win, and go in and start the way you started against Northwestern. You're gonna find yourself, you're not gonna be able to pull those miracle comebacks out of your backside too many times. So we got to start better when we have to play a complete 2-half game tonight. So that'll be interesting. You want me to try to get this Hoiberg clip to roll on my end?
I just want you to repeat that guy's name again.
Frederick Conan Nidenhauser. Would you like me to say it in the accent too?
Oh, try to whip that out when we're actually playing.
And the big guy's got the ball.
Yeah, I think he would be one that had a nickname. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to get to Hoiberg 30 and 31 to play. That's
30
what I'm trying
and 31. To do. I got like 1 and 1 over here.
Yeah, but that's not the right ones. I'm trying to get 30 and 31 to play. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
All right, now we can talk about Penn State. Freddie Boy talking about Penn State going to be tough tonight.
Listen, this Penn State team, they've lost 8 games in league by 6 points or less. They beat Purdue. It's a team that has had double-digit leads in their last 2 home games. So this is a team that's got a lot of talent. And, they are coming into this game. We know we're going to get their best. So, for us, we have to match, the energy on the road, and we have to go out there and play a complete 40 minutes or, we're not going to have a chance to win this game. There are some positives, believe me. There's a lot of really good things that came from that last game, but for that first 25 minutes, we did not come out of the gate with the right mentality, and we have to reverse that, not only this game, but the remaining 5 after this one, and hopefully put ourselves in a good spot.
Again, the Huskers fell behind by 20 on Sunday in the first half. The coach obviously says they have to get up to a better start this time around against Penn State. He says that it really all starts in practice.
I wish I had a crystal ball to see what group I was going to get, where I could look at and say, okay, here's what's going to happen in the first 5 minutes. And, we've been very inconsistent with that. We try to simulate it in practice. I guess that's the answer. is you try to simulate starts with everything you do, not only with once we start going live and defending in the half court or the full court, but even in drills. We have a goal of the things that we have to accomplish in a layup drill and a shooting drill. And if we don't accomplish it, we do it over, we get in the line, we run, and there's consequences for it. If we don't get a certain number of stops, once we start going live to simulate the start of a game, you run them and you do it over again until they get it right. So you try to do everything you can to simulate the early game and the early start and the importance of it. Because when we've gotten off to good starts, we've been a pretty darn good team. And obviously when we haven't, we have struggled, and we had to do everything in our power to dig ourselves out of a hole, which takes a lot of energy. But again, I give our guys credit for figuring out a way to get it done. So just, try to simulate it, try to put them in adverse situations, and how are they going to handle it? Because it's going to hit us every time we step on the floor.
Yeah, so the Huskers in Penn State tonight, again, 5:30 will be the starting time tonight. You can see it on BTN. Got to get off to a better start. Can't afford to fall behind by 20 and then find a way to dig yourself out of a 20-point halftime deficit.
Yeah, those are like 1 in 99s, right?
Yeah.
1 in 99 games that you're going to be able to do something like that, and we got our one, so let's not test it. Let's not play around to see if we've got 9 lives. I know we're playing Cats tonight, but let's just go ahead and get out of the gates and leave no doubt. That's kind of what I want to see. I want to see a performance where we get out of the gates, we act like we are a tournament team, and we flex early and we put them in the dust. In the second half is really not what do I want to say? It's not like must-see viewing because we have the game in hand. That's what I'm looking forward to. Ryan Martin chiming in on some comments on Hoiberg, saying Hoiberg sounding a lot like Bill Self, talking about players' consistency. Both always give the other team credit for playing well, which he respects, and says maybe they will both meet at the border and have a come to Jesus meeting today. So we'll find out.
Well, we're not anywhere near the border because we're in Pennsylvania right now.
Pennsylvania.
So, yeah, the Husker women, they got to get back on the winning track tonight. They got a ball game against Oregon. They're playing the Ducks for the first time in women's basketball because Oregon, of course, joining the Big Ten Conference this year. So, first meeting between the Huskers and the Ducks tonight at Pinnacle Bank Arena. This is not duck weather, you wouldn't think.
No.
With the temperature sitting at 6 below zero this morning, so maybe the Huskers can win. Have not heard anything about Brett Prince, who was injured at the end of the ball game on Sunday at Illinois. I have not heard one thing out of the Husker camp concerning her status, which is rather odd.
And it was very concerning, being helped off and putting zero power on that leg. And you saw it, the entire demeanor of that team changed in the huddle and around Amy Williams. And so, I was expecting to hear, even as of Monday, some news on that. And you mentioned it. It's been a week of quiet. I think a week of evaluations, and then they'll obviously be careful with her and getting her back to acclimated court status if she's able to go. But yeah, I've heard nothing on Britt.
And that's, like I said, that's rather odd. Well, I guess we'll find out tonight. She's a starter, so she's not in the lineup. Obviously, she's not going to play. So,
and then so I wanted to touch up on one other thing before we start the next pageantry a little bit. We had some sub-district releases for boys basketball. You alluded to this. It's sparked some controversy on social media, as we kind of figured it would.
I know.
A couple weeks ago, you told me that this was a very realistic possibility. And I kind of said and scratched my head. I'm like, I don't know. That we'll see how the cards play out. St. Cecilia is a 1-20 team. And they are hosting. They were 1 seed in their sub-district basketball tournament.
Yes, they are.
They didn't play D1 competition at all at any point this season except for once.
Yeah, so they got the luxury of using the power points in C1 and C2, and they've got the overall top seed as far as the power points are concerned out of the 4 teams in this sub-district. St. Cecilia, Palmer, Nebraska Christian, and Blue Hill. So I don't know if I've ever seen that. a 1-20 team, a team with a losing record, is going to be a number 1 seed in the sub-district tournament. St. Cecilia boys will open up on Tuesday against Palmer. Now, the other teams do not have flashy records either. St. Cecilia 1-20. Palmer is 4-13. So they'll play in the first game. Then the second game, we'll have Nebraska Christian at 5-15, taking on Blue Hill 9-13. So the Bobcats have the best record out of the 4 teams, but they play a lot of D1 and D2 teams, some C2 teams, so their power points are not as good as St. Cecilia. The Hawks are at 39.381, and Blue Hill is at 38.8636. So Blue Hill will be the number 1 seed, St. Cecilia the number 1 seed, Nebraska Christian number 3, Palmer the number 4 seed. That in the D1-4 sub-district tournament for the boys that gets underway Tuesday. And, yeah, St. Cecilia the number 1 seed, and they also get home court advantage.
And it's a winnable sub.
Yeah, they could win that thing.
It's a winnable sub. They could go to districts with a 3-20 record.
Yep. That's
the way the PowerPoint system is set up. That's a very realistic possibility.
Which means they'll get the number 16 seed in the districts, and they'll have to play the
1 seed.
Yeah, they'll have to play the number 1 seed in Class D1.
Yeah.
I don't even know who in the hell that is in Class D1. That's who they would have to face. I know we're jumping the gun a little bit, but
sure.
Yeah,
but that's a winnable sub that could put a 3-20 team into a district final.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Just number 1
for the Whiners.
Yeah, for the Whiners, and I'd like to see St. Cecilia win a couple of games down the stretch.
So would I.
Yeah, their seniors have not had a good school year so far. They were 0-for in football. They've only won 1 game in basketball. I guess what they really need to do is get Extreme Sports to do their games, because their only win they got was when we broadcasted the game down at Superior. We were there for that one. So, yeah, I'm 1-0 for St. Cecilia on the road this year.
Good luck charm. Good luck charm.
So that's coming up on Tuesday. We mentioned the girls sub-districts are going to try to get back on track with some games tonight. Both Adams Central and St. Cecilia will be playing tonight in girls sub-district basketball. Adams Central, after their win the other night over Gibbon, beats the Buffaloes 66-38 the other night on Monday. So now they'll play the number 1 seed Gothenburg out in Gothenburg tonight in the semifinals. That's the team that beat Adams Central by 18 points earlier this season. Then the other game will have a Kearney Catholic against the Central City. The 2 winners will play tomorrow night at 6. Hastings St. Cecilia, their girls are going to be playing at home tonight. They are playing in the C2-8 sub-district tournament at Maywood High School, but they have moved the St. Cecilia Arcadia Loop City game tonight to the Chapman Gym. It gets underway at 5:30, that in the semifinals. And then the other semifinal game will be played in Maywood Hayes Center against Centura. So they're moving things around. Like we said, we're moving things around because of when weather strikes like this during postseason play, I don't care what sport it is, it's a real hassle rescheduling things and trying to keep things on track, because, we do have a deadline. We do have a deadline because the boys start next week, and the state tournaments, you can't move the state tournaments, so we got to get games in when we can. So we're going to be playing some Wednesday night games, which is not really tradition for high school sports. We usually don't play on Wednesday.
No, but correct me if I'm wrong. I've seen games that get moved to Saturday before in the postseason.
Yeah, but evidently I was told that all these girls sub-districts had to be concluded by Friday.
Okay, that would be that then.
So that's
okay, because I'm sitting here thinking like, man, it's gonna get really, really nice Friday and warm up, and we're gonna have good weather. Why can't they just push this thing to Saturday? If there is a hard Friday deadline, then that would make sense.
Yep, that's what they told me.
Oh.
And then you got to worry about referees.
That's true too.
Classes A and B, they're still playing regular season games. Like tomorrow, York and Hastings High is going to be playing, so you got to worry about getting enough refs. We're already running short on refs in this state, and then when you have
throw in Mother Nature rescheduling,
you got refs trying to Maybe ref a couple of games in one day.
I don't want that job.
Like they did in football.
Give me the backup NFL quarterback.
Yeah,
over trying to navigate this stuff any day.
You listen to Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Wednesday. I'm like you. I don't even know what day it is.
It's Wednesday. It's the longest week ever.
I've got basketball tonight. We're on the road, Hastings College in Fremont against Midland University. Women's game will be at 6. The guys will go at 7:45 tonight, on the air with a pregame at 5:45. Bronco women are playing real well right now. They've won 7 games in a row. They've won like 8 of their last 10 games, with only a 7-point loss to Morningside during this little stretch. So they're playing it real well. They're firmly entrenched in the GPAC postseason tournament that gets underway next week. For the Hastings College men, they're playing out the regular season this week. They've got a game tonight against Midland, and then they're going to put the capper on the regular season on Saturday at Doane.
Women have locked up a host spot for the conference tournament, correct?
In the first round they have.
Yep. So top 4 seed.
So they're either going to be a 3 or a 4, depending on what happens this week. So the Bronco women will be at home next week in the first round of the GPAC tournament, and the men will be finished after Saturday. So
sure,
that's the story there. 7:50. You wake up with Mike and Tyson this morning. It's a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Since 1946, 40 years before I was born, Hastings Federal Credit Union has been a part of the Hastings community, and community is at the heart of everything they do. As a nonprofit financial cooperative, the credit union is owned by members who join, and joining, well, it's as simple as opening a primary savings account. And with a convenient drive-up 24-hour ATM, a friendly staff that knows each member by name, why would you go anywhere else? That's Hastings Federal Credit Union, 707 North Marion Road, or online hastingsfcu.org. Hastings Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender. News today out of the state capitol. When you're snowed in, not a whole lot of headlines unless you're working on bills or making headlines of your own, as Senator Lauren Lippincott found out. He was under fire yesterday for his weekly column, which was critical of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. DEI programs, for short, seek to promote the inclusion and opportunities for underrepresented racial, gender, and other groups. Critics, like Senator Lauren Lippincott, President Donald Trump, they all say DEI programs undermine a system that should be based only on merit. In his column, airlines were the topic of conversation. Lippincott, a former Delta Airlines pilot, criticized the behavior of an air traffic controller that he dealt with years ago, who he told was a DEI hire. Also very critical of former President Joe Biden's appointment of Keith Washington, the head of the FAA. Lippincott said Washington had no aviation experience but was given the post due to the color of his skin. Sigh. The Nebraska Legislature Agriculture Committee heard a proposal yesterday afternoon to ban the sale of lab-grown meat. Senator Barry DeKay from Niobrara introduced the bill at the request of Governor Jim Pillen. The bill would ban the manufacturing, sale, and distribution of the protein products. 2 companies have been cleared by the U.S. Department of Agriculture to sell the lab-grown meat, but the products have yet to hit the shelves in Nebraska. DeKay said he introduced the bill due to concerns of the long-term health effects of lab-grown meat. No action was taken on the measure. 7:53 coming up on 7:54. Let's head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's the haps in sports?
Again, Adams Central currently in 12th place after the first day of the Girls State Wrestling Tournament in Omaha. Patriots have 25 points. Omaha West Side is the leader in Class A with 55.5 points. Grand Island currently tied for 8th. Kearney is 17th. Utan leads in Class B. Superior is 19th, and Wood River is 20th. Girls Subdistrict basketball from last night at Cross County. Cross County beat Wood River 66-33, and Sandy Creek got by Sutton 50-43. At Elm Creek last night, Elm Creek blew out Axtell 67-19, and Alma defeated Kennesaw 42-24. At Shelton last night, Shelton beat Hampton 64-14, and Nebraska Lutheran defeated Heartland Lutheran 32-27. At Wilcox-Hildreth, Wilcox-Hildreth beat Loomis 51-16, and Amherst defeated Overton 47-39. Tonight, Adams Central will play Gothenburg in the semifinals of the C1-9 tournament out in Gothenburg. Tip-off at 4:30. In the other game, Kearney Catholic will take on Central City. C2-8 sub-district tournament. Maywood Hayes Center will play Centura in Maywood beginning at 5. And Hastings St. Cecilia will battle Arcadia Loop City at the Chapman Gym tonight beginning at 5:30. Again, the Hastings College basketball teams in Fremont tonight against Midland University. The women's game at 6. The men to follow at 7:45. We'll have the action here on Extreme Sports beginning at 5:45 this afternoon. The Nebraska men's basketball team will play at Penn State tonight. Tip-off at 5:30 on BTN. The Nebraska women's basketball team will host Oregon tonight. Tip-off will be at 7. That's a check in your sports headlines. 7:55 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
It's been quite a winter week here in South Central Nebraska, and that continues for a few more days. Hey everybody, Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV. We're starting off this Wednesday morning about 10, 12 below, wind chills 25 below, only just slightly above zero for highs on Wednesday. But the big story, 24 below Wednesday night to Thursday morning, wind chill values as low as 35 below. But there's good news in the forecast. Friday, plenty of sunshine. We're up to 20 degrees and 30s and 40s through the weekend, and a heat wave, quote unquote, next week.
Right now, we've got, north winds at 11. 18 below is the wind chill. We're at -6 this morning at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class wing beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
Okay, Mike Will, Tyson Urbanik with you on this Wednesday morning as we get you out the door. Well, it'd be nice to be talking about spring and summer activities again, like softball,
we're so close.
And baseball, and racing, and the lake, and things like that.
And the lake. Today's 5. Tomorrow's 11. Friday's 23. Saturday 39.
We're into the 50s next week.
Sunday 47, 50s, 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 and then Friday 61.
Next Friday, 61.
We can do this. We've got 2 more days of hell.
I know, but we're not done yet.
We've got 2 more days of hell.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, but once you get to the 50s, then give me one more. Give me one more counterpunch, Mother Nature. Like, it's cool. We just got to get through this death grip of like the last winter.
I know in March we're
usually they'll snow.
Oh yeah, we'll have a snowstorm probably in March, but I've told you several times I like March snows because it snows 10 inches
it's gone.
one day, and then like 2 days later it's gone because temps are in the 70s.
Yep, it's gone.
I like that.
Like, I can deal with a 3 or 6 inches of snowfall when it's not 14 below zero outside. When I can feel my face, like I'm fine with that kind of snow. And we're almost there. Like, we've just got 2 more awful, horrible days.
Yeah, we're halfway. I said at the beginning of the week we're going to have 4 bad days of weather here, and we've made it through Tuesday. Now we got Wednesday. We got
made it this long.
Yeah, well, I guess Monday was thrown in there as well.
Yeah,
so we
Monday kind of sucked.
Monday and Tuesday, and now we're the Wednesday. We're on the downhill slope.
We're at the very peak.
Yeah, let's put it that way. We can make it through today. We're in the clear. We're in the clear.
Be okay.
I know, but tomorrow, God, when we get together tomorrow morning,
it'll be very cold.
It's gonna suck.
It'll be cold, but it'll warm up to like 11, which
I know, but
that's okay.
When we start at minus 25 in the morning,
we can start there.
It's gonna suck. Yes,
it's gonna be awful.
I wonder if our stuff is even gonna work tomorrow.
We'll find out. Join us. Like, that's a great cliffhanger to leave the show on. Will our stuff work tomorrow in the freezing cold? Find out tomorrow.
Well, it
in
should.
24 hours.
It should. It's indoors, but God, a lot of things that happen outside too.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to work tomorrow.
Your car's going to die. I mean, in the morning, it'll be frozen.
I'm worried about tonight. I'm going to Fremont, and we're going inside for a while to do 2 games. I'm worried
about coming back out.
Make sure my car's going to start. Hell, I might be doing the show tomorrow from Fremont someplace.
Oh, surely you can hitch a ride with the bus back.
Well, I got to get my car.
Just have them put it on a tow rope or something.
Sooner or later, I'm going to have to get my car.
Sooner or later, yeah, this weekend it's going to thaw out again.
Well, I can't wait till this weekend to go back up to Fremont and get my car. I'll probably just have to stay in Fremont and get it started tomorrow.
Could do the show from Fremont.
I will, because I'll have all my stuff with me.
Find a hotel with internet access.
I'll have internet access.
My Council Bluffs trip.
Yeah, I might have to do it from the repair shop. Would that be great? I'll just set up right there by the brake machine. Just put my stuff here on the brake machine, guys. I'll just be here for an hour or so until my car starts. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
A lot of possibilities.
There's possibilities. I'm taking my little battery booster thing that I have.
It's cold. Will it be too cold for the morning show?
Yeah, I'll let you know tomorrow.
Find out tomorrow.
My little excursion goes today. Really don't like traveling when it's 25 below zero. But we'll do her. We'll take one, sir. We'll take one for the team.
Take one for the team. Godspeed, sir.
Anyway, hopefully you'll make it through the day today. I know you will. And thanks for joining us today. Remember, if you'd like to listen to a replay of the show, you can do so. Just go to any one of our social media sites. You'll get the podcast section, even on Roku TV if you've downloaded the app. And lots of people are doing that. If you've downloaded the app, you'll find a spot there to listen to a replay of the